What's going on, everyone? This is Mwabu FX, and on today's video, and as I'm moving forward, this is something that I'll actually be doing. I'll be recording videos of the trades that we have actually taken during that day. In the evening, I'll be doing recordings and I'll be showing you what are some of the entries that I was able to take a look at, so that I can be able to make a decision to get into that trade. So this is my Telegram group in front of you, and today I shared a couple of trades. This one was GBP JPY. Definitely this setup was clearly, we're looking for a buy setup, but hey, that is not what happened, and I'm going to be sharing with you USD JPY. Also, you're waiting for an exact setup, and GBP JPY, this was an update which hit our take profit very quickly, and then we get into a gold sell, which is a very big one. We hit first take profit, second take profit. AUD USD, I did not take this trade because it actually did not play how I was expecting it to play. So yes, I want to dive into explaining Euro USD. Always gives me the perfect entries. It is one of my favorite currencies right now. This also was gold. I sold it after everyone was actually buying. And I'm going to be jumping direct into my charts, and I'm going to be sharing with you how exactly was I able to take these trades. So I usually use a concept here, which I'm just going to be very quickly explaining to you. I use a concept of supply and demand, right? And I usually use this strategy a lot: accumulation, manipulation, distribution, and then price gives you an entry. So what do I look for? Here I'm looking for a buy. I'm looking for price to go up. So you usually have price accumulating here. Then after price has accumulated, it usually acts like it's actually going upwards. But guess what? Most of the people, what they do is they come here, and this is where they usually get into their trade. This is where they usually look at their long entries, long position entries. This is where they usually look at. I don't know why my thing is acting this way, but no problem. This is where most of the people usually look at their long position entries. But guess what? Guess what? I use a strategy which is a combination of different things. We have the smart money concept here. We have supply and demand. We have support and resistance. I usually observe all those things. But for me, what I usually wait for, I usually like price to top out everyone who has gotten into this trade and give me a good momentum and movement. So where do I get the trade? I usually, for me, my entry point will actually be this area here. This will actually be my entry point, right? This will be my entry point, targeting this zone. This is on buying. So let's take a look at some of the trades that I actually took today. So this is gold. You can be able to take a look at gold. Gold came up to, gold today was buying, as you can see. If you take a look at the 4 hours time frame, it will be able just to give you a close analysis of it. So let's actually just do a deep down analysis. Start charts. So you can see today gold was actually giving us a bullish move, right? It was actually buying. It actually broke out of this consolidation. I remember as the week was beginning, we were actually trading gold on this consolidation. Okay, so when gold was reaching here, you could sell. When gold was reaching here, you could buy. When gold was reaching here, you could sell. When gold was reaching here, you could buy. So gold broke this consolidation all the way, covered this imbalance that was here, and gold has actually created a new higher high, right? So what are you expecting from gold? Will it continue shooting up to 2100 to 120? That depends on a lot of things, but I'll just go to the lower time frame, just give you a whole strategy breakdown on how I analyze the chart. So this was the first trade that I actually took. No, this was not the first trade. I think the first trade was a sell, which was a sell at this level here. We had a sell at this level here, I remember. I had a sell at this level, and also I had a sell at this level. So let's do a top-down analysis. I'll just remove my charts. Let's remove the drawings, and I am going to take this to at the beginning of day was a 4th. Yes, just at the beginning of 4th. Let's repeat there. Okay, so let's open our session indicator. So Sydney session, after Sydney session, we usually take our trades during London session. Okay, so now this is yesterday. So yesterday, this is how I was analyzing this video. So this is what I usually do. Top-down analysis. I usually look at where did price get during New York session of the previous day. So recent previous day high. This was our recent high during the previous day. And then I look at the previous low, most recent previous low. And then I come also take a look at 2 days before and draw our previous day high where London, New York high was formed, and then where London, New York low was formed, which is there. Right, so now this gives me like an edge into now looking at the market. And so after doing that, definitely I usually make sure I have switched off this indicator. Is it switch you off just to make my chart clear? And now I understand gold is in an uptrend, right? Gold has been able to, like, push. Gold is now pushing up, right? So most likely I'm going to be looking at buys, and if sales opportunities actually present to me, I am actually going to be taking the sales opportunities that present to me. So after doing that, I'll be able to get into the 1 hour time frame, and I'll be able to do my top-down analysis on the 1 hour time frame, and I can be able to see on the 1 hour time frame, 4 hours time frame, what gold is exactly doing. Gold has already broken this consolidation zone. Gold has already made a very strong move to the upside. And what I am expecting is I'm expecting gold to fill in the imbalances that I am seeing. So I usually use a concept of supply and demand. So I will draw my supply and demand zones on the 1 hour time frame. So for example, here I'll be able to draw my supply and demand zone with white lines. So if you want to learn more about my supply and demand zones, all you want to do is you want to make sure how I usually like all these things. You want to come and join my VIP group. Okay, so let me just show you what I usually do. Wow, Forex VIP. This is my VIP group. Mm-hmm. So you want to be part of this VIP group, okay? So in this VIP group, what I have done is when you come to the pinned section, right? On the pinned section, I have videos explaining exactly how I do my top-down analysis. You can see getting started. This one is how to get funded. Number 3, number 4 is supply and demand zones like a pro. How I exactly draw my supply and demand zones like 5, identify sniper entries, taking sniper trades. So you want to be part of my VIP group to be able to understand what are some of the things I look when I draw at this supply zone. So this is my supply zone on the higher time frames. I believe that this is the extremely high. Okay, this is the extreme high that has actually be formed. So I will wait for London session opened. I'll also go into the 1 hour time frame. Left on the 1 hour time frame, you can see we had a consolidation, and then we had gold breaking to the up. Okay, we have this void here that has not been covered. We also have this void here that has not been covered. I'll also go to the 30 minutes time frame. It's just a top-down analysis. So on the 30 minutes time frame, what am I being presented with? I'm being presented here with two things. I'm able to see that there was a break of the most recent high was actually broken. There was a demand that was formed, its previous high, right? So when London session opens, what I'm going to be taking a look at is, will gold price break this lower low to form other lows? So we'll be looking at sells, but if it will not break this lower low, I think I'll be looking at buys. So let's see what gold has to do. So as you can see here, what gold is exactly presenting to us is a consolidation, and price is moving actually towards supply and demand zones that have actually not been touched. Okay, so you can be able to see here, this was a supply zone that caused the whole of this move. This was a supply zone here. Like, I'm able to say that this was a zone that actually caused the break of the most recent previous high. So this will be a very, 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 very strong level to be looking at buys, but that will really be dependable on what the New York session does. So I also have an indicator here that helps me draw strong supply and demand levels that I'm actually taking a look at to be able to take my trades. And actually this one has really been able to help me a lot. So I'll just activate it and you'll be able to take a look at London session opening. You can see we are still on Tokyo. Right, so we can see on London session opens immediately, giving a push to this demand zone that actually caused a break. Okay, so just play. So buy limit, long position here. What I'm really looking for is, I'm really not looking for a lot of things. I'm just looking for 20 pips, right? 10 to 20 pips immediately. Okay, so already this is my trade here, playing well. I'll just go to 1:2. This is 2040. Yes, this is 2040 pips. I will actually go to the 1 minute time frame. Just pass this. Okay, so you can see price is approaching this level that I actually drew. So for me, let me show you how I draw my demand zones. So I usually draw my demand zones using a straight line. So I'm expecting price to come up here, and price is going to give me a movement. Okay, I'm just looking for 10 to 20 pips. So I'll just go to the 1 hour time frame. We'll be able to take a look at my sniper entry. Okay, so I'm seeing price has been able to touch my demand zone, and this was my first trade, a long trade. Okay, as you can see, I've already shared with you the reason why I'm entering this trade. If it hits my take profit, well and good. If it hits my stop loss, well and good. 20 to 40 pips for gold, that is very, very achievable. Okay, and you can be able to see what price will do. So price touches immediately my buy limit. Right, my buy limit was there. Price reacts. You can see immediately price touches the buy limit. It gives me how many pips? I'm already in take profit one. I'm already in 24 pips. Okay, so what am I looking for? The next thing I'm looking for is I'm looking to close my trade partially. I close a half the amount that I've traded with, and I'll be waiting for my trade to get into take profit two, and I'll move my stop loss into entry to be able to have a risk-free trade. Take a look at what happened. Gold gave us that push, hit our take profit, and guess what? This is actually exactly what I was looking for, right? The problem with a lot of people is they're looking for a billion and one pips. They're looking to, I'm a scalper. This is just what I'm looking for. This has already made me $100, $200, depending with the lot size. You can see, tapped into the demand zone that I actually drew as we were starting this. London session gave us this push, gave us this push into this demand zone. This demand zone is the one that had broken our previous days high, and I was looking for buying. Okay, so that was trade number one on gold. I'll not go through other trades that I took on gold because of time. I don't want to take a lot of your time. I usually focus on the supply and demand zones. Okay, so that was my trade number one. So you get into the M15. Trade number two was actually during like New York session. Okay, during New York session. And I think at the middle of London session, I think I also took a trade from somewhere, some zone here. I'll just put on this indicator. You can see here. Just a one, if I'm not wrong, a quick 1:2. Which is was 10 to 40 pips. So let me just push price to that level so that people can just not waste a lot of time there. 5. So London. You can see guys, price still got back into this level and gave us how many pips. Can you see how precise these levels are? Price still got back onto this level and gave us around 80 pips. Okay, let's see. Okay, this was my other sell level. Okay, you can see guys, right? Price just touched this supply zone that have grown and all the way giving us up to 119 pips. So if I'm not wrong, I remember I took a short trade here, being able to have this as a supply zone, 20 to 40 pips. I don't know, it's appearing this way. Let's just do this again. Short. One is to two, 1:2. I don't know, it's shrinking. This is so weird. So you can see price touch this zone. Let's see what it does. Can you see? 1:2 straight. I don't know. Let me just restart the chart so that you can be able to see. So for gold, a small move, guys, is crazy. Short. Let's put here how many pips. This was at 20. Was it at 10, 20? As you can see, this is big profit. Definitely came back trying to hit our stop loss, but did not hit our stop loss. This is 2040. Okay, I've actually put this wrongly. This should be 40. Yeah, because I remember this thing like could drop to hell. This was 40. This was a 40-20 trade. 20. Guys, I want you to notice something. Like all these trades I'm sharing with you, I'm just drawing these lines, my supply and demand zones, and gold is like to the peep, like touching my demand and supply zone. You can see this is the demand zone. Drew it on the M5. Okay, I drew it. It was actually even confluence with my indicator here. Right, take a look at this one. It was actually, let's when I'm trading, this indicator is usually live, so I'm usually like I'm usually on the watch of it. Okay, so this was my second trade on gold, I remember, and you can see it upped after this pull, after this fall, after this whole drop. We had a supply that was created here, tapped into this demand, pushed back into our supply, gave us a pull towards this new demand that has actually been created here. And I can also remember this. I don't know if it, yes, I do. I think I did I take it straight from here. I know this now can be a very, very, very strong, like how many pips. Yes. I remember. So this is where everyone was buying gold. Okay, but I did not buy the gold. This is where everybody was buying gold. Let me show you how this happened. Okay, just trying to put the charts on the M15. I'll emphasize today on gold a lot. Yes, fantastic. Take a look at this. This is where everyone was buying this gold, man. Look, everyone was buying this gold. If you could have bought the gold here, if I could have entered the trade here, I would have been having how many pips? 200 and around 300 pips for gold for buying. But guess what? For me, I waited for a sell. I actually waited to sell this gold from somewhere. Maybe it was New York session. I remember the higher time frames we did not have the higher time frames. I remember actually on the 1 minute time frame is where we had a supply zone forming. Supply zone forming. So let me just replay. Replay. Okay. So this was a sell that I took from this level here. I knew the momentum was over. I knew gold has reached like a very high level. So most probably you see gold creating something like this. It usually does what we usually call tries to fill in this imbalance. So what I looked is I opened this indicator and I was able to identify. Actually, there was I don't know why right now it's not bringing, but there was a 1 minute supply zone somewhere here. So, and that is where I actually entered the trade. I actually entered a short trade. definitely for me it's definitely for me it's 20 to 40 risk to reward, but it played out so well that it gave us around 114 pips. Okay. Right, so those were gold trades that we took today. The other trade that I took today was actually Euro USD. Okay, and Euro USD, I will not actually just do like a lot of drawings, I'll just do like explanation. So the lines that you're seeing here, let me put off this indicator. This is a smart money concept indicator that helps you identify real supply and demand zone. So this is actually a trade that I've actually placed like right now. As I was beginning this live, and you can see it is actually getting to my take profit zone. So the first trade that we took was this one. This one was our main trade here on this level, whereby the reason why I took this trade was, you can see Euro USD had a push to this level. It had this crazy down momentum whereby it broke this structure here, changed the character, formed a new lower low. So we were waiting for price to pull back here. When price pulled back here, it created a new supply zone, which was on the 1 minute time frame. After creating a 1 minute supply zone, that 1 minute supply zone gave me this move to the downside, and then it gave me this green candle, gave me a pullback into the 1 minute time frame, and we had a whole momentum of Euro USD dropping for today. Definitely, I did a top-down analysis for it, and that is how USD actually played. We also had USD JPY at the beginning in the morning. I was thinking USD JPY will actually move upside so that it can be able to cover this imbalance, right? But that is not what it did. It continued with its downtrend, consolidation, right? You can see consolidation, manipulation, distribution. You see manipulation to the down. We have a distribution, and then we have the entry. So you could have waited for a good entry confirmation zone, which was actually this one here, back to this high that was created. USD JPY gave us this run, right? So this is a pullback coming back into our main supply zone that has been created, which has been able to cause a change of character. So I've just been able to enter this trade here to be able to see what will the USD JPY do. Will it take my take profit here, or it will hit my stop loss? That was USD JPY. The same thing with also GJ, GBP JPY, and you can see these things are actually just playing the same, right? The morning you're looking at GBP JPY to be able to buy up to here so that you can be able to get into the sales, but it consolidated, manipulated, distributed, and then gave us this huge drop. Right now it is just pulling back to a supply zone that has actually been created after a change of character. And what I'm seeing is this trade that I've actually placed also on GBP JPY as you are getting to this call. It is actually halfway. How many pips has it given us already? It has given us 24 pips. Closing our, this means that we close half of the trade, we move stop loss to entry, and we wait for it to take our take profits or go back and have a break even trade. So those are today's trade. I'll always be doing analysis on trades that I took and the reason why I took the trades, explaining to you different chart patterns and helping us know more. So if you're not on this Telegram group, I have a free Telegram group here whereby all it is free for everyone. You can join. This is where I usually share the charts I usually share the concepts and everything and updates. And also on the VIP group, if you want to become part of the VIP group, just send me a DM and I'll be able to share with you the steps to be able to join more Forex VIP group where we actually trade with you live. Have a good time. Let's meet on the next video.